Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. Today we will be evaluating and providing opinions on two filings in the matter of State of Idaho versus Brian Kohberger that were submitted and that appear on the docket on February 8th, 2023, both of which were filed by the prosecution. The first is a memorandum that is responding to an earlier motion filed in earlier part of February 2023 by Shannon Gray, who is the private attorney for the Goncalves family, and where he was seeking relief from the non-dissemination order. We did an episode earlier in this series on what Mr. Gray filed, and if you have not already, I hope that you will listen to that episode. But on the 8th of February 2023, we see that the state has filed a memorandum opposing disturbing the non-dissemination order in any way, shape, or form. So they're opposing Mr. Gray's motion. And they provide some compelling arguments why the non-dissemination order should remain in effect. They talk about such things as if, in particular, the Goncalves family, who are the family members of one of the victims, are going out and giving their opinions on Mr. Kohberger's guilt or innocence or other matters pertinent to this case, that it might reach the ears of a potential jury member and might prejudice them and then prohibit Mr. Kohberger from receiving a fair and impartial trial, and also impede the state's ability to be able to present their case. So if you want to see what those arguments are, please follow the link that I provide to you in the description of this podcast that you can read for yourself. The second is an affidavit that was filed that day. This is sworn testimony that Mr. Thompson provides in support of his motion asking the court to deny the relief that Mr. Gray is asking for. And there are three basic statements that he is making here. This is his own personal testimony here, based on his personal knowledge that he testifies is true and correct to the best of his information and belief. The first statement states that he's been the prosecutor for Latah County for 30 years. The second states that he is one of the prosecutors in this case, and so therefore he has personal knowledge as to the third statement, which is a little perplexing to me. Here he testifies, quote, "The members of the Goncalves family who are represented by Mr. Shannon Gray are potential witnesses in this case, including at trial and or sentencing," end of quote. Now, I could understand how the Goncalves family would be witnesses at the sentencing phase. The sentencing phase, however, only happens if there is an adjudication of guilty in the first proceeding, which is trial. At the sentencing phase, one could see that the Goncalves family would come forward and talk about Kaylee, who she was in their lives and who she was in life, and what her murder has meant to them and the pain that they are suffering because of it. But again, that only happens if the trial results in a rendering of guilty. At the trial, the first proceeding, it's the state's burden to produce evidence, and it could be in the form of lay witnesses coming forward and providing personal knowledge of facts at issue in the case in chief, where you might expect a lay witness. I witnessed the murders, or I have firsthand knowledge of what occurred regarding the crimes themselves, or Mr. Kohberger told me he committed these murders, something like that. And we have no information here regarding what the Goncalves family could possibly provide in that sort of evidence, because Mr. Thompson provides no details. But in my opinion, I'm confused why he's saying here that they are potential witnesses at trial. This will now conclude our episode on the documents filed by the prosecution in this case on February 8th, 2023. I hope you will join us again when we will continue discussing this case. Thank you.